You're live.
We good?
We're live.
All right, this is April 13th, 2023 at 7 p.m. Village of Minerva Park Council meeting. We will start with roll call. Councilperson Koss.
Present.
Councilperson McNamara.
Present.
Councilperson Camera.
Present.
Councilperson Wolf.
Here.
Council President Bruger.
Here.
And Councilperson Martin.
Here.
Okay, everyone is here. And next we have the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next we have meeting minutes, March 23rd, council meeting minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right. And then we have work session minutes from April 6th.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? And we are good. Next is we're going to talk about the non-voting member of Planning and Zoning. I had two applicants request to be on Planning and Zoning, and I would like to my mind goes blank every time we do this. Okay, recommend to appoint Rainey Conger to our non-voting member of Planning and Zoning. Do we have?
So I will support that by making a motion to approve that appointment.
Okay. And Jason is a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? And we are good. So I will let her know, and she will be our new non-voting member of Planning and Zoning. Yay! Okay, let's start with our village official reports and Chief Matt Dowd.
I was just looking over my report because it's been a minute since I turned it in. Make sure there was nothing to ask. Thank you, Mayor. At this time, there's nothing to add to the report.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Chief at this time? Okay, next let's move to our fiscal officer, Jeffrey Wilczek.
A couple days ago, I sent out the month-end report for March and gave a couple of highlights on it, but nothing else has changed since then. If there are questions, I'll answer the best I can.
So one of the things that was listed on there did talk a little bit about the interest that we are receiving from some of the investments.
Yes.
So I don't know if everybody understands what that is or where that came from, but it's a huge amount. At least it was a huge amount for me. Can you kind of like just
Yes.
a brief discussion of where that money is coming from and how we're getting it and why it's
Between
so
the
much?
bond proceeds and what is in the treasury for all other funds, about a little over 90% of our cash is invested on a regular basis. For March, we earned $33,500 in interest for a total of $91,000, almost $500 for the year so far. Our money is invested in Star Ohio, which is a mutual fund solely for local governments, and a good portion of it is invested in treasury bonds or bills and notes and some agency securities. But all of it is rather short term, and it rolls over as it matures, and I don't need it to pull it back to pay obligations. So I try to keep as much of it invested as possible to earn as much interest. Again, all of the investments are allowed under state statutes and our investment policy.
Awesome. It was just a huge amount, so when we saw it, I just wanted to kind of go over, what have him go over, because I definitely couldn't do it. So I appreciate all the work that you do on that, because it's a lot and it helps. And you'll see some things that we're going to do with that money. Hopefully. Next is our village engineer report. Mike Flickinger came. I didn't even send. Oh, he's on vacation. So Mike did not send it. At least I remember that now. He went over everything. So if anybody wants to hear where we are in a lot of the projects, go back and listen to our work session. There's tons of information about every project that he is currently working on with us and for us. So lots of great information, and that would have been last Thursday's work session. And then let's move to our legal counsel, Jesse Shamp.
Thank you, Mayor. Two brief items. One I emailed about earlier. I apologize for just getting to it this afternoon. A couple small amendments to Resolution 2023-10. They're not substantive. In Section 3, I'm asking that we amend it from City Council to Village Council. And then at the suggestion of Fiscal Officer, we're going to specify the price index that we need. So I have amended it in Section 1 to say the chained consumer price index for all urban consumers, C-CPI-U. So I would ask when we review that resolution that we move to amend it and vote on it, and then move to pass as amended. And then second, there was a late addition to the agenda tonight, and I'm sure you'll get to that, but it's a resolution about the furniture for the municipal building when it reopens. We've crafted a resolution that caps the expenses for that to $90,000. It requires staff to use the state term schedule to the extent possible. That eliminates the need for competitive bidding. However, if staff finds that they can't meet the requirements to avoid the $50,000 threshold of competitive bidding through the state term schedule, then they will come back to council for review. So if that's at all confusing, let me know, but the point is they can spend up to $49,999.99 on furniture off the state term schedule, but the rest has to go off the term schedule. That's all I have.
Perfect. Does anybody have any questions for Jesse? Okay. Village Planning, Eric Fisher.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. Nothing too far from what we reported past work session. There will be movement on the amphitheater in the coming month to 6 weeks to get the concrete poured. So that'll be the next step. We're just going to finalize a couple bids. If necessary, put that back in front of you for approval. We're not recommending after talking to a couple of contractors if there's any type of stamping or anything crazy. Some of our contractors have come back and say they'll do that, you know, so there's been some professional review of that. So we'll kind of finalize that design, show that to you, and go forward with that. That's all I have.
Does anybody have any questions? All right. Zoning officer's report is in the file. If anybody has any questions, always reach out to him or myself. And we will move on to planning and zoning, Councilperson Wolf.
Planning and zoning has not had a meeting since our last meeting. We are next meeting next Wednesday, 7 o'clock up in the media center here. Be there or be square.
Perfect. And then we have our MPCA update. I believe Jason might have some updates for that.
Yep. So they had their meeting last night. Carriage rides, they cannot find horse and buggy, basically. So they're going back to trolley. They believe they have enough in their funds this year to pay for it themselves. So it will be an MPCA event. They're going to get the news out sooner rather than later that there won't be horses. So to let people down now. So that was one of their big things. They are talking about their membership drive and what that looks like. They're having a lot of internal conversations on, is there a date that people have to be enrolled by? Will we cut off membership? Things like that. What does their membership year look like? We talked about Arts in the Park, so it's going to be held here at the school. They said the principal's very excited about hosting the event this year and trying to get some of the art teachers involved with it as well. So it sounds like it's going to be a nice event this year. And they're also trying to do it, I believe, out back here. I think they said there's a patio area back here. Sip and Dip has been planned for the year. I believe they've announced those dates, and they have reserved the pool space already for that. Garden tour, they have a couple people signed up for the garden tour for this summer, so that should be nice. We have a couple residents being recognized at the NCC banquet, which I think is next Thursday. I'm sorry I didn't write their names down, otherwise I'd recognize them now. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Just quick and short.
Awesome. Does anybody have any questions? All right, if you do, contact MPCA. That's my easy answer. Next, we will move to village committee reports, and we will start with Brian, Councilperson Wolf with finance.
Finance committee has not met since our last reporting. Our last major work was reviewing the monthly reports for formatting. So if you got those this month for both the end of month and the investment. If you have any questions or concerns about the way those reports are formatted, please feel free to send those concerns on to me. We'll meet again at our next meeting.
Works for me.
Yeah, I don't know that we have anything pressing, right? So.
The only thing that will be coming up that, we should meet and address is the tax budget before it comes to council. So,
Perfect. All right, next we have Councilperson Costs for Streets.
We met with the George Road residents to discuss the project and how it can move forward in a timely fashion. There was no opposition, really, I think I can say that, to moving forward as fast as possible. Mike Flickinger had a presentation on what we were thinking, and then that's pretty much it, though. We're kind of focusing on that to try to streamline that. And then after that, we're going to talk about some other projects that we have in the works. But first we'll focus on this, and then we'll have a meeting.
Perfect. And then just to toss something, we did do a bid for CCTV, and we did get those, and we are just waiting for Mike Flickinger's updates to the lowest bid. So we will bring that to you guys in 2 weeks, just because I don't have it in front of me yet. Next we have Councilperson Martin with services.
I have the trash bid and the leaf bids out, and I have a fun, interesting fact. Each week the village sends out an email update to the residents that have subscribed. The average open rate for emails is set by government entities is just under 29%. Ours is 70%. Also, you can go to minervapark.org. There's a little white button on the top right hand of the screen that says email alert. You can click that. That's all.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. Get all your village information.
And I can text it to you.
Yeah, it can be text, email, all kinds of options. All right. And we will just take a deep breath on this one. All right, so next we have, you guys have to fix this. Recreation and Parks, I can't say it that way. Parks and Rec, that's all I can think. So Recreation and Parks, Councilperson Cameron.
Yes, so busy season right now, obviously, getting ready for pool and landscaping and all that stuff, so just kind of some updates. I happened to be in Athens this past week, and I just stopped by to glance through the fence at the pool, and the director was there and said, come on in, and I got a full tour of their facilities. Every room in that space I got to see. So it's pretty cool. It kind of gets us thinking about, or me thinking at least, about what was good and what, I probably wouldn't work for us here as we think about replacing the pool. And she sent me the financial report, so I have all that as well. So I can see what their pool costs and how many lifeguards it takes. She kind of went through all that with me. We are in the process of getting the pool cleaned out so we can get it repainted. Once the weather's nice, I believe, and we finally finish cleaning out the deep end, I think we're ready to go. And that is being done by, is it?
Request.
Request,
Is
okay.
painting it, yes.
Perfect, so we'll have a nice clean looking pool. The mayor and I, we're working on concession stands. We were trying to add some shelf stable items like nachos and pretzels that we could just heat up and serve, because our impression was that everything had to be prepackaged in order for us to sell it. Through that, we learned that we cannot sell ice cream at the pool because it's temperature controlled, and you can't sell warm ice cream. Can't sell warm ice cream anyways, you can't eat it, so I don't understand why it's such a big deal. But if we want to sell ice cream this coming year, we do have to have a level 2 food permit, which involves some small upgrades at the concession stand to do that. I'll talk about that as we get to that piece of legislation tonight and an ordinance. and then we have a pipe that, when we repaired the pit, broke. So, again, I'll talk about that here in just a moment. We're in the process of getting the sunshades installed at the pool. So we have bloodhounds out there. So we'll have about 40 feet, 20 by 40 feet of sunshades up there to kind of protect. And then hopefully we don't need umbrellas this year, and that danger of an umbrella flying out in a good gust of wind. So that terrifies me each year, because I've seen them blow out, right? And one of these days it's going to hit someone and we're going to have a problem on our hands. The second order of chairs that we ordered arrived last week. So those are all sitting at the pool. Remember, we got 40 more chaise lounges, and we got 40 regular chairs to replace all the broken ones that we have around the pool. They look really nice. We purchased that square card reader system that we talked about, and Barb and I have been working at getting everything programmed and ready to go for the front desk staff this year. I think that they'll enjoy it quite a bit, and we've made some other improvements to try to go as paperless as we can with all the pool stuff, as electronic as we can. Membership drive is still on the way. Remember, April 15th is the last day to get your resident discount of $25, but that is going well as well. So that's kind of the pool wrap up there. We have mulching and weeding that starts on Friday, tomorrow, for all the beds that we contracted with. They are gonna weed first, and then they'll come back next week and do the mulching for all that. And then we'll take care of the things that aren't being taken care of by the landscaping company. We also purchased mulch for the playground, which will be installed, I don't remember that date. 19, so it's coming up. We wanted to wait to make sure it's not gonna be too wet when we put that in there. And then I don't necessarily have this update, I'm hoping you do. I believe we've met with Aquedox and kind of have some stuff from them and AEP to run the electrical that we need. So I don't know if you wanna share.
I'll do that in the, yeah.
Okay,
I'll,
perfect.
that
Yeah,
is
you're good.
just an update.
Okay, perfect. I'll also say, we kind of have, I've noticed comments about the playground, trash and language and, all that type of stuff. My thoughts and feelings on the playground, we know that there's gonna be litter. We have litter all throughout the village. Our trails are covered with litter. Might not look as bad, because it's spread out, but we understand that that's a part of having a playground and basketball court. And, we'll pick it up as we can. We have the staff that can help with that. But we need to be respectful. We need to play fair on the playground. There are rules up there. I know the mayor has already gone by a couple times. We kind of missed the ball in not putting 2 and 2 together that it's spring break and the weather's real nice, and we probably should have a little extra patrol out there. But I'm sure that we'll have a good summer. We're putting in a lot of things in place, as we've heard from the chatting with council, to kind of, that we have listened to a lot of the concerns that are out there, and we're trying to do some things to mitigate that. So the four-way stop sign, that passes tonight. And then with the shelter, we're hoping to have some security cameras installed with that to kind of give us a view. So, I think the basketball court is important to a lot of people in the neighborhood, and at this time, we don't plan to get rid of it or do anything else with it. We just need to all be respectful of each other and learn to play well together, right? Yeah, that's it. That's all I have.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any questions? Councilperson McNamara, safety.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of council. There has not been a safety meeting. However, I did receive information about a noise complaint around, again, the basketball court area. It appears that everything went the way it should have. The people with the complaint called the police. Police came and the noise issue was resolved. So I just like to use this time as a plug to make sure that everybody is aware that the Minerva Park Police Department does not routinely monitor Facebook or things of that nature. If there is a were to actually contact the Minerva Park Police Department. As Councilperson Camera said, it's important that we're all good neighbors, all, play well together, but when that isn't necessarily the case, to communicate with local authorities through the proper channels. So that's what I have.
Perfect. Anybody have any questions? Next, we have Council President Bruger with legislation.
All right. Just to start off, our next legislative meeting is April 27th at 6:15 or 6:30. Barb, do you remember what? 15. There we go. Thank you. 6:15. It will most likely be up in the library here at Minerva France before that evening 7 o'clock council session. Our big thing we're doing now is checking through various ordinances that the Planning and Zoning Commission wants to run through council before they finalize their ordinances. No actual final decisions to report on that. Although we are thinking, I think we can say, we did discuss, if a tree dies in your tree yard, you need to replace it with 2 trees so that eventually we could be an old growth forest. No, I do not think that
Don't
was.
say that on the record.
I can say that on the record, and then I can say that was not discussed, although the trees were discussed.
Kidding.
That is what I have for legislation.
Awesome. Okay. Just a couple real quick updates. Hitting the pool for a second, or actually let's start with the mulch at the playground. Mulch is being delivered next week, we believe, around Wednesday. It likely may sit there for a day or two, again, depending on weather. Please do not climb on it. Just stay off of it. Just simple. And we will get it spread out as soon as possible. I know, Brian. I'm talking to you. So just be respectful. We will get it put out as soon as possible. There's a couple other little spots that I would like to try to get some grass seed out, so you and I will talk about that tomorrow. We will be spraying for clover at the pool this year. I'm sure there's going to be some lifeguards that are thrilled with that. That is going to be around the 1st of May. They will come out twice to get that clover sprayed. At the pool is the only place we are planning on spraying anything at this time. I have met with myself, and our maintenance team has met with 2 electricians to get electric installed at 2 of our ponds, our amphitheater, and our playground area. We are still working on that. It's going to take a little bit of time to get some of the estimates. I do have them bringing that to me as 3 different estimates, so you guys can see this is what this project is, this one, and then this one. That way, if we need to hold back on 1 or 2 at the time, we will. So as soon as I have those, I will forward those to every single person of council, let you guys review them, and then we will figure where to go from there. Hopefully, we can talk about it at the next work session. That's my goal. My goal to have the pool filled, and this is my dream, is May 12th. We have a lot of projects going on right now to get that done. We have roof repairs over at the pool, we have painting at the pool, we have plumbing issues at the pool. We have a lot of things going on, but I do not want to come to the day before opening of the pool like we did last year, not knowing if we were going to open or not. So we have a lot of hands on deck with a lot of different projects going on. So thank you to everybody that's been helping on all of those. And hopefully we'll get it done before May 12th. We also have a dumpster that is over by the community building. That is for yard waste only. So please do not put trash in that. If we catch you putting trash in it, you're gonna get in a lot of trouble. I don't know what kind of trouble, I just know it's not supposed to have trash. So that's my little plug. It is on our village page. Be respectful again. This is something that we get as a service from them. So please do not put trash in it. That is all I have until probably and I'm sure I'll come up with something else, so if I forgot anything, I'll do it in old business, new business. So that's all I'll make one little comment just because you guys were talking about the basketball court. We cannot tell people that they cannot be at the basketball court and playground if they do not live in the village. So if you are calling the police, that is something that we cannot control. And that was the only thing I'm going to mention on that, because I know that that is being done, and unfortunately, the police will not be responding to those calls. They will respond to everything that is a police matter. And that's it. Let's move to citizen comments. Anybody?
We do have a few
We
citizens
do.
here. Anyone would like to come up and address council or say hi, anything? Nope.
Okay.
All right, moving on.
And now Mark.
Do we need to amend it?
Just was reminding.
All right, before reading legislation, I am gonna make a motion to, I have that, to amend the legislative agenda here to add ordinance 03-2023, an ordinance to make supplemental appropriations for the current expenses of the Village of Monroe Park for the year 2023, and also to include resolution 2023-15, a resolution dictating total expenses on furniture and accessories for the municipal building and requiring certain procedures dependent upon cost. I need to add those on. They were not apparently prepared early enough to make it onto the agenda.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any, of course, we're just adding these to the agenda. This does not pass anything. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, agenda has been amended. These will be down towards the bottom there, since everything else is nice and laid out for me.
Some of them wanted to abstain.
Oh, abstentions? I thought I heard everyone say aye. I have good ears. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
I know who's talking halfway across the room when I'm doing a small group. All right, moving on. We have quite a few third readings here, so get ready to make those roll calls.
Ready.
All right, started off with ordinance 01-2023, an ordinance to make supplemental appropriations for the current expenses of the Village of Minerva Park for the year 2023. This is a third reading, so I will move for passage.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any debate?
All right. Councilperson McNamara.
Aye.
Council President Ruger.
Aye.
Councilperson Koss.
Aye.
Councilperson Camera.
Aye.
Councilperson Martin.
Aye.
And Councilperson Wolf.
Aye.
All right, that is passed. Okay, moving on, and before, we're gonna have to do lots of stuff here, but let's just start by reading it. Resolution 2023-10, a resolution capping increase to amounts established in the village fee schedule to no greater than the rate of annual inflation in the previous fiscal year. This will also need to be amended. Nothing in a serious situation for the amendment. It was talking about links to inflation. This points out exactly what measure that we'll be using. There was also the word city, village city council was in there in the final document and needs to be removed out. So I'm gonna motion we make the amendments to this.
Do we need to move to amend it, or can we just call out
Call
those
it
changes
changes.
and pass, and then
I'd
move
move-
for passage as amended?
Let's move to amend it.
Okay.
That way it is amended.
And straight Roberts, you always have to approve the amendments. Moved and seconded, debate? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Are you abstaining? I didn't see your eye down there. Okay.
Is it delayed?
Those are delayed eye. Those happen, you get caught up. I now move this being the third reading. Is this the third? Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, when it doesn't have the little dates at the bottom, it throws me off. Being this is a third reading, I move for passage.
Second.
Yeah, let's let David second his, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, there we go.
Get their practice in. Oh, that is his deal.
Yeah, that is
Sorry
his
about
deal.
that. I didn't mean to steal your deal. I just was, you know.
You were excited.
Yeah. Moved and seconded, any debate? I'm not done with it yet. I have to wait till it passes.
All right. Councilperson Wolf.
Go ahead.
Aye.
Councilperson Martin.
Aye.
Councilperson Camera.
Aye.
Councilperson McNamara.
Aye.
Council President Ruger.
Aye.
And Councilperson Koss.
Aye.
Okay, that is gone. All right, and this is, sorry, I almost did that. That is the old version that had the typos in it. All right, moving on to resolution 2023-11, a resolution directing village staff to install stop signs at the intersection of Maplewood Drive and Alta Vista Drive and to order all signs necessary to implement such installation. This is a third reading, so I will move for passage.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any debate? All those in favor? Aye. All those opposed? Are you abstaining? I didn't see your eye down there. Boy, the title pretty much says it all. Maplewood and Ultra Vista will become a four-way stop. Yeah, I move passage of this as it is our third reading. Seconded. Any debate?
All right. Council President Berger.
Aye.
Councilperson Camera.
Aye.
Councilperson Martin.
Aye.
Councilperson Wolf.
Aye.
Councilperson Cost.
Aye.
Councilperson McNamara.
Aye.
All right. Four-way stop. Make sure when you order the signs, you get the little four-way thing underneath. Because otherwise people-
They already ordered them, so you came out too late. You should have had that comment ages ago.
Well, they can order them afterwards, just a little four-way thing that goes underneath. All right. Resolution 2023-12, a resolution authorizing and improving the execution of a contract with Blank for inspecting, cleaning, and video recording of certain sanitary and storm sewer lines. This is just a first reading. The reason why it is blank is we do not have yet a company assigned to do that. But once we get that company, we want the legislation there to be able to be passed. So that was just a first reading. Moving on. Resolution 2023-13, a resolution authorizing the fiscal officer to pay T&J Excavating for work completed and declaring an emergency with intent to waive readings. I know you've explained it to us. Would you like to explain it to the home audience why we need this and where that money is going?
The resolution is necessary to pay the bill on a timely basis. What happened is there was work done without fiscal officer certification of availability of funds. Because it's over $3,000, state law requires council to approve it.
Gotcha. Thank you very much. So it's actually technically paying a bill that we already incurred. I will move that we waive the second and third readings. Seconded by Councilperson Camera. Having waived the second and third oh, I'm sorry, how about we vote on that?
Yeah, I'm not there yet.
Yeah, sorry.
Councilperson Martin.
Aye.
Council President Berger.
Aye.
Councilperson Wolf.
Aye.
Councilperson Cost.
Aye.
Councilperson McNamara.
Aye.
And Councilperson Camera.
Aye.
Okay, now having waived the second and third reading, instead of just suggesting it, I move passage of this resolution and declare an emergency.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion on should we pay our bills?
For all the emergency hawks at home, like myself, that paying a bill we already owe sounds pretty legitimate to me.
There we go. Thank you very much, Councilperson. All right, moved and seconded. I think we can vote.
All right. Councilperson Camera.
Aye.
Councilperson McNamara.
Aye.
Councilperson Cost.
Aye.
Councilperson Wolf.
Aye.
Council President Berger. And Councilperson Martin.
Aye.
All right, we can pay our bills.
Okay. Moving on to a new one interesting here. Resolution 2023-14, a resolution authorizing the mayor and fiscal officer to enter into contract to purchase a utility tractor and declaring an emergency. And it looks like here, Mayor, you're looking to waive the second and third readings of this?
So, we had talked about this earlier. I don't know that we need, I don't know that we need to waive all of the readings on it. I think passing it as an emergency to actually get it done, but I would still say, with this amount of money, we should probably do the readings.
Okay,
Yes.
I'm looking at what's on the
Yes.
paper here, and I just
So,
read that as
and
a
then doing it
request
as
to
an
waive.
emergency. Is that what, Jason, is that what you, or do you?
I mean, this came up in, the purchase of this came up, I think, in one of my meetings, right?
Yeah.
And I know we discussed it, was passed around pictures and whatnot. It's the idea is that we would buy this in lieu of the pickup truck that we kind of put in our budget for this year and do that the following year.
Do you wanna
I'd like
talk
to
about
address
that?
something with
Yeah.
that, first of all. The pickup truck is budgeted in the street maintenance repair fund,
Which I did not
because
know.
it is to be used for maintaining the streets, plowing, salting, etc. Purchase of this tractor cannot be swapped with the truck because it is not used to maintain the roads. There are no appropriations to buy this tractor at this point.
So, and I just
Street
found that
money
today.
cannot be used for that tractor.
Sure.
Okay, so boy, what I am definitely hearing is we have read this for the first time with a total cost not to exceed $63,000.
So at this point, you guys can talk about it in the work session
Mhm.
and decide exactly what you guys want to do. And also, if you guys want to start the appropriation, that's going to be something you guys will need to discuss.
Yes.
I think it's perfectly fair to draft the appropriation to move the money from where it is to where it needs to be. And we can, between now and final reading, make some decisions.
It will be an appropriation within the general fund. You cannot move appropriations from street fund to general fund.
Yeah.
That's not,
But can you move it from the street fund back into the general fund?
no, they're two separate funds. Street fund is highly restricted.
Yeah.
General fund's not.
Because the
So
street
that's
fund,
why-
am I correct, in the street fund, we get some of that from various taxes that are there?
It comes from gasoline tax
And our earmarks as
license
to
fees.
what you can use it in.
By-
You can't shake it around.
That's correct.
Thank you for the clarification
Yes.
for everybody.
So yes, I found that out today.
Mhm.
I did not know.
So we need to then discuss the finance source for this.
Yes.
Okay, different animal. Got it.
Yes. Either way,
So first reading.
first reading. Thinking of maybe buying a tractor, everyone. Okay, moving on. Here are our two that were amended to put on the agenda, so if you're looking at home, you will not see these. If you're on the website, that's what I mean, because put this up on the screen. The first is ordinance 03-2023, an ordinance to make supplemental appropriations for the current expenses of the Village of Minerva Park for the year 2023, with an intent to waive readings. These appropriations not to exceed an amount of $8,100. And we even have Exhibit A here, is just not saying much. Okay, Councilperson Cameron, I believe
Yeah.
this is your bailiwick. Would you
Yeah.
like to explain where that money's going?
So, so again, part of this was us meeting with the health inspector and just saying, hey, in order to do what we'd like to do, we need to spend a little bit of money to upgrade our concession stand. It involves putting in a hand washing sink. We have to heat the water to at least 100 degrees, so we can just get a inline, what are those things called? On demand, and put it underneath. And then we have to install a drop ceiling, which the room had at one time, so it's just reinstalling the drop ceiling, because it has to be wipeable. We have to be able to wipe it down. So some of those expenses are for that. And then we would need to buy a commercial grade freezer in order to sell ice cream, which if we move forward with a new building, we can move over to that, so that expenses would be carried over. And then the other part is, when we had the pit repaired, there's a pipe that goes to the refill tank, and that pipe broke. And in order for the pool to operate, we have to fix that pipe. So, and I don't know if we've gotten full estimates in on the plumbing, but we kind of,
Yeah, for that repair I did.
okay.
That's it.
So this is to do all of those things, together.
Okay.
And then it's the permit fees and stuff.
Yeah, the permit fees.
Yeah, the
food
permit
license.
fees.
So we have to pay a one-time fee to get the plan of the space. We could basically sketch it out and say the sink goes here, counters are here, refrigerator goes here. They approve that, and then we pay our level 2 food license fee, which is a couple $100. So that would be an annual fee going forward if we move forward with this.
Okay, well, I'll at the very least allow people to have their vote on it, so I will first move to waive readings, because that is part of it, correct? You need to waive the reading?
Yeah.
I will move to waive readings.
I'll second that.
Any discussion on that? Okay.
All right, Council President Bruger,
Aye.
Councilperson Wolf,
Aye.
Councilperson Cameron,
Aye.
Councilperson Cost,
Aye.
Councilperson McNamara,
Aye.
and Councilperson Martin.
Okay, having waived the second and third reading, I will now move to pass this as an emergency, but it's an appropriation, so it doesn't need to be passed as an emergency. So I'll move to pass it.
Second. Go ahead, it's Jason's. It's Jason's thing.
Yeah.
You're fine.
I should just
Stop trying to steal second people's motion.
I just like it happening fast.
Yeah.
All right, Council President Bruder,
Aye.
Councilperson Wolf,
Aye.
Councilperson Camera,
Aye.
Councilperson Cost,
Aye.
Councilperson Martin,
Aye.
Councilperson McNamara.
Aye.
All right, and as far as I know, this one we are just doing a first reading, at least by what's written on it.
Yes.
Wonderful. So our last one that was added tonight is Resolution 2023-15, resolution dictating total expenses on furniture and accessories from the municipal building and requesting certain procedures dependent upon cost. Our legal director, I guess that's what we're going.
That works.
Mr. Shrimp, told us earlier, two prices, 90,000 versus 50,000. 90,000 if we use the state schedule term sheet, which I don't really know what that is, but those are the words you said,
Okay.
so I wrote them down.
Sure. So what we're saying here is the total cost of furniture will not exceed 90. The state term schedule is something provided by the Department of Administrative Services that essentially, if you use the term schedule, you waive the competitive bidding requirement. So what that resolution says is use the state term schedule as much as possible. If for some reason you can't use it for less than $50,000 and would exceed 50,000, come back to us and then we will do bidding.
That's for the items not on the term schedule.
Correct. Yes. Yes. Yes.
So what type of items are on the term schedule versus not?
We'll find out.
We don't know, okay.
Yes.
We know there are some, we just don't know which are which.
I think it's more about which you choose, because I think all manner of things, from hand soap to pickup trucks,
Ambulances, yeah, exactly.
are
Yeah.
on the schedule. It's just if we choose the hand soap, I don't know why that stuck in my head, but if we need lavender scented and they don't got lavender scented, and we need more than 50 grand of it, they're gonna
Yes.
have to bring it back to me.
And then the cleanest council building ever.
Anyway, that was just a first reading. I'm sure I'll get confused by it again, and we will go over it again in future meetings. But that does end our legislative session for this council meeting. So, Mayor, if you want to call old business, we are waiting for you.
Oh. Okay, old business. Does anybody have any old business? Anybody with any new business? And no, I didn't come up with anything else.
Move to adjourn.
Probably should.
Oh.
Sorry.
You can move, but he's no. Yeah.
Tree planting starts tomorrow.
Oh,
If
good idea.
anyone- Tomorrow, Saturday, maybe Sunday, I can't remember. It's on the Minerva Park Community Association page, and Lisa is gonna head that up for us. And then Earth Day is the following weekend. We have that dumpster, and then, there'll be other activities from NPCA happening, so.
It's not for trash.
It's not for trash, just
And to make things easier for you, Mayor, I'm pretty sure Ohio Revised Code probably has penalties for illegal dumping that will
Yeah.
apply to if someone
We
wants
will
to throw
find
their
you.
trash
Exactly.
in
We'll
our
go through your trash.
yard waste municipal dumpster.
That's what I was implying, but I didn't want to sound so mean.
Oh,
We will find you when we go through your trash,
I have Darth
and then
Vader
we
on
will
my
find you.
screen.
okay, now we can move to.
Now he's asleep.
Move to
I move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Have a wonderful evening, everyone. That's the best part, Brian, after